Hello everybody, welcome to Bull Party, the show where we talk about bull riding from the past, the present, and the future. My name's Cody Wood. This episode of Bull Party is brought to you by Cowboy Spot. Cowboy Spot's that place that's a little bit more cowboy than most. If you're looking for your next date, your next friend, your next bull riding, next country concert to go to, whatever you might be looking for in the rural world, Cowboy Spot's the place to go. So download the app today, because at the end of the day, who wants a farmer and you can have a cowboy? Well, I gotta address it since our last episode. Kind of had some tragedy strike our family here with the passing of Mason Lowe at the Denver PBR. I have never met Mason in person, but from what I heard, he was an extraordinary person and a great guy to be around. And my condolences and go out to him and his family, and just wish everybody the best there. This is a very dangerous sport. It's probably the one big negative of being the best sport in the world, hands down, but that is definitely one of the hard things about it that we might have to deal with from time to time. I'd like to take a second to kind of pay tribute or take notice to some of the people that might get overlooked some of the time, being the mothers of a bull rider, the wives of a bull rider, some of the kids, because at the end of the day, it is dangerous and it probably shakes them to their core a lot of the time. Or even just the mothers on a daily basis going to some random bull riding all across the state, and they sit in the stands and chase kids around. Mothers, wives, kids, we tip your hat to you this day. So we'll get right into it. As far as bull riding in general, the last few weeks, it's continuing to roll. A lot of good things going again right now. You had 5 events. 2 of the events been won by Jess Lockwood. 2 of the other events won by J.O. Ryan Dirt Eater winning his home event. But the thing to look at here, you got Jess Lockwood that's already almost at $200,000 on the year, over 2,000 points on the year. Just a huge jump to the lead and just a great contribute. It's February 7th today, and he's already at almost $200,000, which is fantastic. Now, you look at the PRCA, Parker Bredding has really gotten off to a hot start, which is fantastic to see. He's going to really need to kind of cushion that lead and really continue to be aggressive. Another bull rider I'd really like to call out and see is Dally Mason, jumping up number 8 in the world in the PRCA. For those who don't know Dally, he is a bull rider's bull rider and just as handy as they come. So couldn't be prouder or more excited to see Dally sit number 8 in the world. But in general, the last time that we had this show, we raised the question, one of my favorite questions, and I'll tell you why, but the question being, who's the best bull rider of all time to never win the world title? And we got over 150 votes, which is fantastic. I loved it and gives you a really clear example. But before I get into kind of the numbers, one of the things I was looking for myself personally is, any state, anywhere in this country has got that one person that you could never get far from home. Could have been a world champion 10 times over type of thing, but just didn't travel like you should. So y'all can name 1, 2 of those guys that were always in the back of your mind, and I just love to hear old rodeo, old bull riding stories of guys just like that. We can all relate to that. But at the end of the day, out of 150 votes, there were 4 people that really separated themselves from the pack when you count down the votes and broke it down. And so I'll start with number 4. Number 4 was Randy Majors. One of the ones that I failed to mention up front, and again, another reason why I love to do this sort of thing is to kind of pull some of that old history out and get your guys' opinion and get a conversation started. Number 3 probably was really no surprise, being in Wasey Cathy in the 14-time NFR qualifier. And then number 2 and number 1 kind of were pretty close, neck and neck there for a second, but then one really separated themselves. But Clinton Bronger coming in number 2, with obviously Denny Flynn being number 1. So kind of one of those questions that, you kind of always known, Denny Flynn with the stats and everything else, was just an extraordinary bull rider. And hats off to all these guys. They had extraordinary careers. Just wanted to raise a question, start having a conversation about bull riding with all you guys. And so I really appreciate y'all commenting and making your votes. But the next conversation that I'd like to have is my number 1 favorite question in all of sports. I'm a football, wrestler, any sport, I love it all. But, who is the Mount Rushmore? Who is the Mount Rushmore of bull riding? I've been planning on asking this question for quite some time, and we've got another platform, another social media platform in Cowboy Spot where we raised the question before and had over 250 votes. So I'm not going to tell you who was the Mount Rushmore out of that group of people that voted. I can't wait to see what we have here, though. I would love to get over 250 votes with this question and surpass what we did before. But when you look at the Mount Rushmore bull riding, you know, the greatest thing about it is, what does that mean to you? You know, so myself, I'm a little bit of a historian. I love history in general, whether it's American history, world history, and especially bull riding history. I just absolutely love it. So when I look at it from more of a history perspective, where somebody else might look at it as, you know, who's the 4 greatest bull riders of all time and just list them all out when there's nothing that's perfectly fine and completely makes sense as well. So really would love to hear, you know, what you guys have to say and who you think would be your Mount Rushmore. So please, at the comment section of this video, you know, list your 4 guys who would be your Mount Rushmore. Share this video so we can get as many votes in there as we possibly can. Feel free to explain why those are your votes. Like I said, this is a place to communicate and have that conversation. You know, like I said, who doesn't love sitting, you know, around a old camper with a couple of beers, somebody picking a guitar and talking about nothing but old rodeo stories. I mean, that's what I would love to recreate here with this show. So anyway, so when you get a second, go ahead, comment. Who's your Mount Rushmore? Who would you have up there? Your 4 guys, whether it's the 4 best bull riders in the world, the 4 that changed the history of bull riding, whatever, any way you look at it, you know, please let us know and share that. So, like I said, each time I'd like to look at, you know, the bull riding presently, the bull riding from the past, and the bull riding for the future. Last time we had a featured bull rider, and obviously you can't have this sport without the animal athletes themselves. So this time we're gonna feature a new young, well, he's not new, but a 4-year-old bucking bull named Stiff Upper Lip out of No Credit Bucking Bulls here in Bennett, Colorado. Stiff Upper Lip has won money throughout each year, each division. He is now going to be a classic bull here this next year, and has got really a lot of high hopes. He was the Buckers Unlimited champion last year as a 3-year-old, so he'll be going to some of those events this last year. He was just at the PBR here in Denver, bucked off the number 6 bull rider in the world with Luciano De Castro. So he's a Brangus bull, big, strong, black bull, but, you know, would love to get scratched behind his ear, you know, on the back pin. So really somebody to take a look out for, and you know, you'll definitely see down the trail here soon. So Stiff Upper Lip, No Credit Bucking Bulls. He's out of a Tom Teague bull. He's a T18 Chance, and you know, who's a Western Wishes son. He goes back to Western Wishes 3 different ways. He's out of a Deja Blue Daughter, so I mean, he's bred up like no other. But anyway, wanted to make this video a tad bit shorter. So again, you know, our hats off to all the mothers, the wives, the children out there. Hats off to Denny Flynn, the best bull rider of all time to never win a world title. And again, who is your Mount Rushmore? Who are the 4 people that you would want to see up there, you know, if it were to represent the bull riding world? And go ahead and comment in this string and share this video if you get a chance. So again, brought to you by Cowboy Spot. At the end of the day, who wants a farmer and you can have a cowboy?